Loads of homes now have solar, battery storage and EV chargers, but there's a problem that I'm seeing more and more. The home batteries seem to be dumping all of their energy into the electric cars. So instead of powering the house at night time, the battery is getting discharged during the day because it's been charging the electric car. In this video, I'm going to show you why this happens and how I wire these systems so the battery stops discharging all of its energy into the electric car. And in this case, the fix is not in the settings, it's inside the meter box. So today this property has the battery, the solar and EV chargers, two of them actually, and the issue we have here today is they are on Octopus Intelligent, which gives them cheap tariff at different periods during the day, and when that kicks in, the electric cars start charging, but where it sees demand, it's sucking all of the power from the batteries. Now unfortunately with the system we have here, my customer has had a terrible experience with these manufacturers trying to get control over them, and the installers are now being gone and shut down. So he's stuck, so he cannot control when these batteries will discharge. Battery and solar have CT clamps, which are here, and they're used to measure the electrical demand. The battery monitors the house through these CT clamps. So when the house needs power, the battery can supply it. But here's the problem. The EV charger is pulling 7 kilowatts of power, and when the battery sees the demand, it can't separate that this is an electric car. It just sees the demand for electricity. If the battery can see the load, it assumes the house needs power. So what does it do? It starts discharging into the electric car. So think of it like this. The battery is looking through a camera. If the EV charger is in that camera's view, the battery thinks the house needs a load of energy. But if I make some alterations in here and adjust these CT clamps, putting the EV charger CT clamps before the battery will no longer see the EV demand. So the goal is to basically blind the battery from seeing the electric cars. So let me show you the current install. Inside the garage, that is where we have the two batteries and the inverter, and the supply to all this equipment comes from the house consumer unit. Inside the meter box, we have a new consumer unit, which is for the PV, the solar. And inside the house, we have the main consumer unit, which has all of the load, the whole property, including the EV chargers. So when those batteries see a demand for electricity, here we have the EV charger circuit 1 and EV charger circuit 2. The garage supply there, which means when the batteries see a demand, it feeds all of these circuits and it can't separate the EV charger from, say, the hob. This has now become a problem because where the customer has changed their tariffs. Previously, they were on an overnight cheap tariff, which means that the cars went on charge overnight, the batteries got filled up overnight, but now where they've gone on the Octopus Intelligent, the cars get charged during cheaper periods throughout the day. The problem with that is that the batteries see a demand at that time and dump it. So here's the fix. I'm going to be taking both of those EV charging circuits out of that consumer unit and installing this new one directly below it with its own set of meter tails. So the cables going to the EV chargers at the minute will come out of this consumer unit and go into this one. Like I said, with new meter tails supplying this board coming through from the meter cupboard. That separates these EV charging circuits from the rest of the house load. That would then allow me to make some alterations in here with the CT clamps in order to put the EV chargers before the battery system. God knows how I'm going to do this yet because there is no room in here. But first things first, this client is awesome. Fresh pastries, loads of tea. Thank you, Chris. Job number 1 is drill a new hole in the bottom of this meter box in order to route my new meter tails from the inside of the house to the outside. I want to keep this installation as neat as possible, so I'm putting a new consumer unit directly below, notching out a bit of this trunking and installing some fire rated membranes in the consumer unit to pass my cables straight through. The existing meter tails come through there, so that is where I'm going to core drill through now once I've worked out where my trunking's going to go. Once I've worked that out, I'm going to drill a 28mm hole straight through the wall, which is the perfect size to pass meter tails through. And here you can see daylight, which is a pretty good indicator that I got the hole in the right place. And here we can see where I drilled that hole through the wall that it's bang on. The trouble with working on your own is sometimes it's double hard to get simple tasks done, like passing cables through a wall. Lovely, thank you. Drafted in the client. Right, now I can start making off the meter tails inside that consumer unit, isolate the old consumer unit, take the cables out of there, put it into that one. Then I can mess around with this and show you what I'm going to do. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it with the room I've got yet, but I'll get it done. Now that the new consumer unit has been mounted, it's time to disconnect the old EV charging circuits from the old consumer unit. It's simply a matter of removing them and putting them into the new board. And there we have it all connected up. Now we're on to the clever bit. Let me show you the setup as it is now. The way this is currently working is the cable comes in from the street, which goes into the meter, and then you have these meter tails which come down into these two 100 amp terminal blocks. Out of this 100 amp terminal blocks, we have one set of tails which go to the house consumer unit, and another set which come to the solar PV one that was installed here, not by me. And what I'm going to do is take this 100 amp terminal block and fit it in here somewhere, and take the cable that comes out of the meter that goes into this first terminal block, take it out of that, and that's going to go into my new terminal block. Then out of that terminal block, we're going to have a cable that goes into the existing one. Neutrals stay the same, everything else stays the same. And then, well, let me do it and I'll show you how it's going to work in the CT positionings. But I'm not going to show you me actually doing this wiring, because this is not a DIY job, and that's essential to me. Only professional, trained, competent persons should be doing this. So the way this is all wired up now is like this. Cable comes in from the street into the meter. Out of the meter, this line conductor here goes into this first terminal block here. Out the bottom of this terminal block feeds my EV consumer unit, and then this loop feed which goes to the existing line 100 amp block, which has one tail which goes to the house consumer unit, and the other one which feeds this solar one. The solar CT is put there, so it's put in after the EV chargers, and that is the thermal boost one. The solar boost, sorry, for the heating. And my EV charging CTs, they're both put there. So they are still monitoring the whole load of the house, and load curtailment can still be put in place. So where the battery is on the house consumer unit, when those circuits are in demand, then it will discharge into those, but it won't come all the way back to my consumer unit with the new meter tails. Now this isn't a one-fits-all battery depleting, solving solution. It depends on your whole setup, the CTs that you're using, and the way that everything's being wired. So you need to understand what everything's doing and what each CT is controlling. And now we have the vehicle on charge. There, that's on charge. And then if we go into the garage where the solar inverter is, what we can now see here is that the solar is generating 1.79 and it's going straight into the battery. Before, you could see the battery getting dumped into the house because it was going through that consumer unit to the EV charger. That has now stopped. So if your battery is draining into your EV charger or your electric car, don't assume it's the battery system that's faulty. Most of the time it's the metering layout and the CT positioning. If your battery can see your EV demand, it's going to react to it. Move the CTs around and the system should work exactly how it's supposed to. Hopefully that is going to help you out. Like and subscribe to my channel. See you next week.